I woke up in someone else's story. Specifically, I woke up as the brain-dead villain who tries to steal the hero's girl. The story ends with the hero systematically destroying my family, my fortune, and leaving me to die penniless in some back alley. So to save my own skin, I decided to become the world's biggest suck-up. The only problem? On the day of our first real meeting, the Ice Queen CEO I was engaged to started hearing my thoughts. Oh wow, so that's the female lead. A total knockout, just like the book said. Too bad the chest is fake, and she's got a raging case of bipolar disorder. Still, whatever. If I play my cards right and kiss her ass just enough, I might just live to see the credits roll. Across the table, the woman's face instantly darkened. Chapter 1. At the engagement dissolution dinner, I swirled a glass of whiskey, playing the part of a textbook trust fund brat. Serafina Sterling, I am breaking this engagement. I slammed my hand on the table, sloshing a few drops of amber liquid onto the white linen. My voice was pure arrogance. Just agree already. For God's sake, woman, just say yes. The second you do, I'm free from this stupid plot. I can take the 10 million my dad promised me and go live my best, laziest life. 3-star Michelin restaurants, here I come. Small batch Kentucky bourbon, here I come. A chiseled six-pack and a life of leisure, here I come. The woman sitting across from me, Serafina Sterling, was my fiancée in name only. She was also the story's Ice Queen CEO, the woman who held half the city's economy in the palm of her hand. She wore a custom-tailored white pantsuit, her long dark hair swept up to reveal a neck so elegant it could make a swan jealous. Her face was a sculpture of perfect angles, but it was a sculpture carved from Arctic ice. Her eyes held zero warmth. According to the original script, she was supposed to agree without a second thought. She'd even feel a surge of disgust at my audacity, setting the stage for the hero to easily turn her against me later. The gears in my head were spinning furiously. Once she nods, I'm a free man. No more being a pawn in this ridiculous love story. No more being the stepping stone for the main character's relationship. The world will be my oyster. Ethan Vance, will have a model on my left arm, a flight attendant on my right. Wait, no. I'm a respectable man. I'm going to hit the gym, drink green juice. I fought to suppress a manic grin, forcing my face into a mask of petulant entitlement. Serafina's brow twitched, an almost imperceptible movement. For the first time, a ripple disturbed the placid, frozen surface of her eyes. It wasn't disgust. It wasn't contempt. It was confusion. What are you looking at? Let's go. Say something. I screamed internally. Our parents sat on either side of the long table. My father's face was turning a shade of angry green. He looked like he wanted to strangle me right there. The Sterlings weren't thrilled either. The atmosphere was thick with a cringeworthy tension. Serafina, since Mr. Vance seems to have made up his mind, the Sterlings are not the kind of family to cling. Her father, a formidable man with a permanent scowl, finally said, offering a graceful exit. We're in. A wave of joy washed over me. I almost crushed my whiskey glass. Yes, sir, you are a gentleman and a scholar. I'll light a candle for you at church. Serafina raised a teacup to her lips, taking a delicate sip. Everyone expected her to accept her father's out. Instead, her cool voice, though quiet, cut through the tension and reached every ear. I do not agree to this. PFFFFFD. I sprayed a mouthful of whiskey across the table. What the hell? You don't agree? That's not in the script. Lady, did you get the wrong script? Aren't you supposed to be dying to kick my useless ass to the curb so you can go find your true love that's secretly a billionaire hero guy? My head snapped up. I stared at her, trying to read something from that stoic face. But it was the same mask of indifference. Only now the confusion in her eyes was deeper. She was staring back at me, as if trying to see right through me. And in that moment, a ridiculous thought popped into my head. There's no way. She can hear what I'm thinking, can she? Chapter 2. The absurd idea lasted for about a second before I shut it down. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. That wasn't a feature in the original story. Something must have gone wrong. Is this the butterfly effect from me being here? No. I have to make her break it off. My master plan for a life of doing absolutely nothing cannot fail now. I clear my throat, deciding to up the asshole ante. Serafina, don't push it. You think Ethan Vance, actually want you? If it wasn't for this stupid family merger, I wouldn't even give you a second look." The words were brutal. My father's face went from angry green to a deep, apoplectic purple. "Yes, that's it. Hate me, despise me. Throw me out like yesterday's trash. A goddess like you deserves that hero, the one pretending to be some down-on-his-luck nobody. You two are a match made in heaven. A slob like me isn't worthy of you, seriously." I was pushing her away with my words while cheering for her and the hero in my head. Serafina's fingers tightened around her teacup, her knuckles turning white. Her chest seemed to rise and fall just a little faster. Is she angry? Perfect. But when she spoke again, her voice was still level, though it now carried an unmistakable hint of command. "We will not be calling off the engagement. Not yet." She paused, then added, "Give me 3 months. If you still feel the same way in 3 months, I'll agree." 3 months? The hero is supposed to show up in 3 months. By then it'll be too late for me to escape. I panicked. I was well and truly panicked. "No, we in it now." "Ethan," my father roared, "you will shut your mouth. If Serafina says 3 months, then it's 3 months." The gavel had fallen. I went completely numb, slumping back in my chair, all hope draining from me. It's over. I'm toast. Phase 1 of my retirement plan is a catastrophic failure. What is this woman thinking? Could she be in love with me? Oh God, no. Please no. I'm just a side character trying to survive. As my mind wailed in despair, I thought I saw the corner of Serafina's mouth. Twitch? Was I imagining it? Did a crack just appear on that perfect glacial facade? The dinner ended on that sour note. My father practically dragged me out of the Sterling mansion. In the car, his yelling nearly shattered the windows. "You ungrateful brat. A girl like Serafina is 1 in a million, and you want to call it off? What in God's name is going on in that head of yours? Just trying to save your precious son and the entire Vance family fortune, Dad." I leaned against the window, watching the city lights blur past, my heart a pit of despair. Meanwhile, in the Sterling's car, Serafina's father had a grim expression. "Sarah, what are you thinking? That Vance boy is a lost cause." Serafina didn't answer. She just stared out the window, her mind replaying those bizarre, irreverent, and strangely amusing thoughts. The chest is fake. A faint blush crept up her cheeks. A raging case of bipolar disorder. Her expression dimmed instantly. How? How could he possibly know that? It was a secret she kept from everyone, even her parents. They just thought she had a reserved personality. If I kiss her ass just enough, I might just live to see the credits roll. An involuntary smile tugged at her lips. This Ethan Vance. He didn't seem anything like the useless playboy everyone said he was. Chapter 3. The engagement was on, and my father put me under house arrest. But that wasn't going to stop me. I was destined to be the king of chilling, and a locked door wasn't part of the plan. The next morning, I climbed out my second-story window and headed straight for a high-end gym I'd already scoped out. Health is wealth, after all. If you want to live the good life, you need a body that can handle it. The burn of a good workout felt amazing. Once I get this six-pack and that V-cut thing going. Hiv. I was flexing in the mirror, admiring the early progress on my biceps, when a commotion near the entrance caught my attention. I glanced over, and there she was, Serafina Sterling, flanked by a squad of bodyguards in black suits, walking into the gym. She traded the power suit for a set of tight, black yoga pants and a matching top that showcased a figure so perfect it was almost offensive. Those long legs, that perky. Wait a minute, I thought it was fake. That does not look fake. Was my intel wrong? My mind raced. Serafina walked directly towards me, every man in the gym practically snapping his neck to follow her with his eyes. But her gaze was locked on me. It was an assessing look, a probing look, mixed with something else I couldn't quite decipher. How did she find me? Is she tracking me? Oh crap, she didn't actually fall for me, did she? Lady, snap out of it. I'm the villain. Your knight in shining armor is over there somewhere. A jolt of fear shot through me. I grabbed a towel, wiped the sweat from my brow, and prepared to make a run for it. Ethan, her cool voice stopped me in my tracks. I froze, then slowly turned around, forcing a smile that felt more like a grimace. Hey, Ms. Sterling, fancy meeting you here. It's not a coincidence. I came to find you, she said. To find me? For what? To rekindle a flame that never existed? Please no. I hear you're into fitness. Her eyes scanned my physique with a detached curiosity. Yeah, right? A healthy body for a healthy nation. I babbled. I just want to live a long, comfortable life. Serafina ignored my nonsense. Her gaze fell to the towel in my hand, and then she said completely out of the blue, "That new green energy venture your company is backing? I saw the prospectus. It's a dead end. Get out of it fast." I froze. She was talking about the project that, in the original novel, was a massive money pit. It was the project that broke the Vance family's capital chain and was the main catalyst for our downfall. Of course I knew about it. Duh, you think I don't know that? I already had my number one guy, Chun, handle it. Not only did we dump our shares, we shorted the hell out of the main competitor. Then we used the profits to buy up a controlling interest in Polaris AI right before they launched their game-changing new product next month. After this move, my personal retirement fund will have doubled. Life is good. While I was gloating internally, I put on a clueless expression. "Oh, is that so? I don't really get that business stuff. My dad handles all of it." Serafina gave me a long, hard look. It was a look that said, "Keep pretending." She didn't say another word, just turned and walked away, leaving me with the view of her flawless back. She's gone? That's it. I thought she was going to do something. I have to admit, that figure is a 10 out of 10. I wonder what it feels like. Whoa, Ethan, get your head out of the gutter. You're a gentleman. I shook my head, trying to clear the inappropriate thoughts. I didn't notice that as Serafina reached the door, she stumbled, nearly tripping over her own feet. One of her bodyguards caught her, just in time, and no one saw that on her perpetually stoic face, her ears had turned a shade of crimson. Chapter 4. For the next few days, Serafina was like a ghost, appearing in the most unexpected places. I went to check out a new, exclusive restaurant that supposedly had the best dry-aged steak in the city. I heard their tomahawk is aged for 60 days. I have to try it. I had just sat down, and when I looked up, Serafina was sitting across from me. "Me? You got to be kidding me, lady." I went to my small, private speakeasy to check on a new batch of single malt whiskey I was aging. This new sherry cask batch has an incredible nose. In a few years, a glass of this by the fire. Perfection. I turned around, and Serafina was standing at the entrance to the cellar, watching me silently. "Me? Did you put a GPS tracker on me?" I couldn't even have a bout of insomnia in peace. I went down to the riverfront for some fresh air. Sigh. Why is living a life of leisure so damn hard? A Maybach slid to a silent stop beside me. The window rolled down, revealing Serafina's emotionless face. "Me? Ms. Sterling, do you moonlight as an Uber driver?" Serafina just stared at me with those all-seeing eyes. She was starting to freak me out. What does she want? Did she figure out my secret? No, she couldn't have. Does she think I'm some kind of fascinating science experiment? This is bad. This is very bad. Never try to figure out a woman like her. I just need to stay away. I decided to actively avoid her. But the more I hid, the more she appeared. One day, I was in my office playing a video game when my right-hand man, Chun, knocked and entered. Chun was a legacy from my father's time. Unflinchingly loyal, brilliant, and the most important cog in my retirement plan. "Sir, it's done, just as you instructed," Chun said, pushing his glasses up his nose. His eyes glinted behind the lenses. "We've completely divested from the green energy project. And, per your orders, we shorted our rival, Gale Force Corp. I imagine they're in for a rough quarter. Furthermore," he continued, "we've acquired a 5% stake in Polaris AI." I nodded, my eyes still glued to the screen. "Good work, Chun. You're the man." Chun is my guardian angel. With him on the job, I could be the hands-off boss I was always meant to be. When Polaris AI goes public, I'm giving him a $10 million bonus. Chin's body visibly stiffened, and a look of profound gratitude crossed his face. "Sir, you're too generous. It's my honor to serve you." Just then, the office door swung open. It was Serafina. "Me? For the love of God, how did you get in here? Is this your company now, too?" Serafina's gaze flickered from Chun to me, her tone flat. "Ethan Vance, you hide it well." My heart skipped a beat. She knows? She knows I'm the one pulling the strings. Abort mission. Play dumb. I shot up from my ergonomic gaming chair and put on my most sycophantic smile. "Ms. Sterling, what a pleasant surprise. To what do we owe the honor?" "Hiding what? I'm an open book. A very simple, very useless book. Serafina watched my over-the-top performance, and for the first time, I saw a flicker of amusement in her eyes. I had to be hallucinating. Gale Force Corp, she said. The Sterling Group was about to enter into a partnership with them. My blood ran cold. Oh crap, you're kidding me. I just torpedoed her business deal. This is it. This is how I die. She's going to have me whacked. Okay, think fast. How do I fix this? Beg? Plead for mercy? My brain cycled through 100 different apologies. But Serafina's next words completely blindsided me. Well done, she said. I was looking for a reason to turn them down anyway. Chapter 5. I stare at Serafina, my mind a complete blank. Well done. Did she just compliment me? Has the world gone mad? The Ice Queen CEO can actually give compliments? And she's complimenting me, the useless fiancé? Serafina seemed to enjoy my stunned expression. She walked over to my desk and casually picked up a file. It was Chen's deep dive analysis on Polaris AI. Polaris AI, she murmured, her fingertip tracing the name on the cover page. Good eye. Me. What was I supposed to say to that? I had no choice but to commit to the bit. Huh? Polaris? Like the North Star? You like stargazing too, Ms. Sterling? Chun was standing off to the side, trying so hard not to laugh that his face was turning purple. Serafina put the file down, her gaze returning to me. Ethan, stop pretending. You're far more capable than you let on. It's over. She knows for sure now. My perfect idiot persona. Is it crumbling? No, I can't admit it. Admitting it means responsibility. It means more work. It means the death of my early retirement dreams. I immediately adopted a look of sheer terror, waving my hands frantically. No, Ms. Sterling, you've got it all wrong. This was all Chun. I don't know anything. I'm just the guy who signs the checks. I threw Chun under the bus without a moment's hesitation. Chun, bless his soul, gave me a look that said, I understand completely, sir, and immediately backed me up. That's right, Ms. Sterling. This was all my initiative. Sir has never been interested in the day-to-day business. Serafina watched our little performance, and the amusement in her cold eyes deepened. It was the look of someone who sees the whole truth but chooses not to call it out. Is that so? She drawled. Then what are you interested in? Food, whiskey, beautiful women. No, wait, fitness, my brain supplied instantly. Out loud, I said, I'm interested in art. Yes, art. Oh, Serafina raised an eyebrow. For instance, the art of the human form. I blurted out. The moment the words left my mouth, I wanted to smack myself. Crap, I meant the sculpted physiques at the gym. Like Greek statues. Not what you're thinking. The air in the office froze. Chen's face had gone from purple to the color of liver, and Serafina's face was blushing. A deep, unmistakable red started at the collar of her blouse and spread all the way to the tips of her ears. She spun around, turning her back to me, her shoulders trembling slightly. Is she angry or embarrassed? An ice queen blushing is actually kind of cute. No, bad Ethan. Focus on not dying. Ahem. I mean sculpture. Like Rodin's The Thinker. I stammered, trying to backtrack. Serafina took a deep breath, visibly composing herself. After a long moment, she turned back around. The blush was gone, replaced by her usual frosty demeanor. My birthday party is next week. You'll be there. She dropped the sentence like a command, and before I could even process it, she turned and walked out, the click of her heels echoing in the silent office, leaving me and Chun standing there, utterly bewildered. Birthday party? Was that in the original book? Oh, wait, I remember now. It's at this party that the hero makes his grand entrance. He gives her some mind-blowing gift and completely wins her over. And I, the villain, give her something that gets compared to trash, making me the laughingstock of the entire city. Nope, absolutely not. I am not going to that party. It's a suicide mission. Chapter 6. I decided to fake an illness. On the day of the party, I called my dad and told him I had a violent case of food poisoning and couldn't get out of bed. My dad yelled himself hoarse on the other end, but I stood my ground. I wasn't going. After hanging up, I flopped back onto my bed, happily scrolling through my phone. If you don't show up for the plot can't kill you. I'm a genius. I wonder what gift the hero will bring today. According to the formula, It'll be some lost masterpiece of a painting or a ridiculously expensive diamond. Either way, Serafina will be deeply moved, their whirlwind romance will begin, and I'll be officially out of the picture. Perfect. I was basking in the glow of my own brilliance when the doorbell rang. Assuming it was my food delivery, I shuffled to the door in my slippers. Standing on my doorstep was Serafina. She was wearing a custom-made starlight blue evening gown, her makeup flawless. She was so beautiful, it was almost hard to look at her, except her face was about 10 degrees colder than usual. Me? Holy crap, what is the main character doing here? Shouldn't she be at her own birthday party? Where's the hero? Where's your leading man? Didn't you say you had food poisoning? She asked, her voice laced with ice as she looked me up and down. I awkwardly scratched my nose. It just cleared up. Miracle drug. Busted. Serafina didn't call me on my pathetic lie. Instead, she held out a beautifully wrapped box. Change. It was a command, not a request. I opened it. Inside was a designer tuxedo, the polar opposite of the sweatpants I was currently wearing. I'm not going, I said, pushing the box back towards her. My tone was firm. Going would be walking into my own public execution. No thanks. What are you afraid of? Serafina asked suddenly. I'm not afraid of anything. I'm afraid of dying, lady. Are you afraid of him? Him? Who? The hero? I'm not afraid of him. I'm afraid of the plot trying to kill me. Serafina's eyes suddenly sharpened. Ethan, what is it that you know? My heart jumped into my throat. What does she mean by that? Did she figure out this world is a novel too? No, that's impossible. I decided to double down on the idiot act. Know what? I don't know anything. I just don't want to go. Too many people. I have social anxiety. Serafina stared at me for a long time, as if trying to find a crack in my facade. Finally, she sighed, and her tone softened. If you don't go, I won't go either. And with that, she sat down on the steps of my porch, her priceless evening gown pooling around her on the concrete. I was completely dumbfounded. Lady, you're the main character. Everyone at the party is waiting for you. What are you doing at my house? The hero is waiting for you. Go back to him. Ms. Sterling, this isn't right. You should go back. They're all waiting for you, I pleaded. They're waiting for the CEO of Sterling Group, not for Serafina, she said, her head bowed. Her voice held a trace of exhaustion I'd never heard before. In that moment, something inside me shifted. Man, being a rich heiress can't be easy. Even her birthday feels like a business meeting. Fine. She looks so pathetic. I went back inside, grabbed a jacket from the closet, and came back out, draping it over her shoulders. It's cold out. Don't sit on the ground. Come on in, I said. She looked up, and in her cool, distant eyes, I could see my own reflection, shimmering like starlight. Chapter 7 in the end, I couldn't win. Or maybe, looking at her like that, I just didn't have the heart to. Fine, it's just a birthday party. What's the worst that could happen? I'll just hide in a corner and stuff my face with hors d'oeuvres. As long as I don't have a direct confrontation with the hero, I should be fine. I changed into the tuxedo she brought. I had to admit, it was a perfect fit. The clothes really do make the man. The guy staring back at me in the mirror looked halfway decent. When Serafina and I walked into the grand ballroom together, every head turned. The buzzing chatter died instantly. 100 pairs of eyes darted between us, filled with shock, confusion, and a healthy dose of envy. The collective gasp was almost audible when they noticed she was wearing my jacket over her gown. I could hear the whispers starting up. Isn't that the useless Vance kid? What's he doing here with Miss Sterling? Is that his jacket she's wearing? Am I seeing things? I thought they were breaking up. What is this? Yeah, what is this? I like to know too. I complained internally. Serafina, however, acted as if she couldn't hear a thing. With a face of perfect composure, she looped her arm through mine. My entire body went rigid. Whoa, what are you doing? Personal space. If you do this, people are going to get the wrong idea. They're going to think we're actually a couple. I could feel her arm tighten around mine. Her body heat, faint through the fabric of my suit, was cool to the touch, yet strangely comforting. I took a deep breath. Fine. If we're putting on a show, let's make it a good one. I straightened my back, let her cling to my arm, and plastered the standard issue evil smirk of a villain on my face. Just then, a smooth, confident voice called out, Serafina, you're here. He's here. He's arrived. The hero of our story, Damien Cross, has entered the building. I looked toward the voice and saw a handsome, elegantly dressed man in a white suit walking towards us. He had an easy charm that screamed, main character. He was the hero of the book, a man who appeared to come from a modest background, but was secretly the head of some global clandestine organization called the Dragon Syndicate or something equally ridiculous. The leading man has arrived. My job is done. Serafina, your soulmate is here to pick you up. You can let go of me now. I tried to pull my arm free, but she held on even tighter. Damien's gaze fell to our linked arms, and a flicker of darkness crossed his eyes before being replaced by his practiced, warm smile. And you are? He asked, though he clearly already knew. My fiancé, Ethan Vance, Serafina said, her voice flat. But she enunciated the word fiancé with crystal clarity. Damien's smile faltered for a fraction of a second. Drama. I love it. This is better than reality TV. Of course, it has nothing to do with me. As long as you gods don't drag a mortal like me into your war, I'm happy. I just wanted to find a quiet corner and become one with the shrimp cocktails. Mr. Vance, a pleasure, Damien said, extending his hand. His smile dripped with a barely concealed condescension. I was about to shake it, but Serafina cut in before I could move. He doesn't like to shake hands with strangers. She shut him down for me. The air crackled with awkwardness. Damien's hand was left hanging in midair. He couldn't retract it without losing face. I saw the warmth in his eyes evaporate, replaced by a chilling cold. Well, that's it. I've made a mortal enemy. Serafina, what are you doing? Aren't you supposed to be ignoring me and fawning all over this guy? If you keep defending me like this, he's going to see me as his #1 rival. How am I supposed to survive until the final chapter now? I want to cry. Chapter 8, the main event of the evening, the presentation of gifts, had finally begun. Guest after guest presented their lavish offerings. When it was Damien's turn, he produced an antique velvet box. The moment he opened it, the room seemed to sparkle. Inside was a massive diamond necklace, rumored to have once belonged to royalty. It was worth a fortune. Wow! A collective gasp went through the crowd. Here we go, the iconic scene. With a gift like that, who can compete? In the book, this is the moment Serafina is moved by his thoughtfulness and starts to see him in a new light. I crossed my arms, ready to watch the show unfold. Serafina merely glanced at it and said, "Thank you. It's very thoughtful." Her tone was as flat as when she'd received the tuxedo from me. Huh, that's not right. That's not how the script goes. Aren't you supposed to look touched? Aren't you supposed to think, wow, this man really gets me, and he's so powerful? A flash of surprise crossed Damien's face. He clearly hadn't expected such a muted reaction. Then, all eyes in the room turned to me. As the fiancé, my gift was now the undisputed center of attention. I could feel the weight of their expectant, mocking stares. I stood there, frozen. A gift? I didn't prepare a gift. I wasn't even supposed to be here. I'm screwed. This is going to be the most humiliating moment of my new life. If I had known this was going to happen, I would have stopped at a gas station and bought a snow globe. What do I do? Help me, Internet, I'm desperate. My mind was racing, trying to find a way out of this disaster. Serafina saw my predicament and suddenly spoke up. His gift was given to me earlier. The entire room buzzed. Huh, it was when I was just as confused as everyone else. Serafina raised her hand and gestured to the jacket draped over her shoulders. My jacket, and I love it, she said. Her voice wasn't loud, but it landed like a bombshell in the silent ballroom. Everyone was stunned into silence. Damien's face instantly turned thunderous. A priceless, historical diamond, upstaged by a common jacket. It was the ultimate humiliation. I looked at his murderous expression and felt my knees go weak. Lady, you're not helping. You're killing me. You're putting a giant target on my back. The hero definitely hates my guts now. I feel my expiration date moving up. I wanted to weep, but I had to stand there in front of everyone and look like, that's right, I'm that cool. All the world's a stage, and I was a terrible actor. Only I knew that my back was completely drenched in a cold sweat. Serafina Sterling, what in the world are you trying to do to me? Chapter 9, after the party, I practically sprinted out of the venue. Damien's death glare had been burning a hole in my back all night. I had out of home for days, not daring to set foot outside. Then, Chun came by to give me a report. "Sir," he said, his face flushed with excitement, "Polaris AI launched their new product. The stock tripled overnight. We made a killing." But I couldn't summon an ounce of happiness. "I know," I said, waving him away dismissively. "Sure, I'm richer, but what's the point if I'm about to get killed? It's all that woman Serafina's fault, stirring up trouble. Now the hero has me marked for death." Chun looked at my gloomy face, confused. "Sir, what's wrong? We just made a fortune. Aren't you happy?" "Oh, I'm thrilled. So thrilled I could just die," I muttered. Literally. Just then my phone rang. It was an unknown number. I answered it. "Ethan Vance? This is Damien Cross." The hero's voice came through the line, smooth, but with a barely veiled threat. My heart sank. "He's here. He finally made his move. What do you want?" I said, trying to sound calm. "Let's meet. The abandoned warehouse district south of the city. There are some things I'd like to discuss with you." "Alone? An abandoned warehouse? Alone? Are you an idiot? That's the most cliché death trap in the book. You think I'm going to walk into that? Do I look like I have a death wish?" I immediately refused. "Can't. I'm busy. You should make time." Damien's voice turned cold. "Otherwise, I can't say what I might do. To that loyal employee of yours, for instance." "Chun." He hung up. I gripped my phone, my palms slick with sweat. He was threatening me. He was using Chun to threaten me. Lowlife. Scumbag. What a classic hero move. Willing to do anything to get what he wants. But what can I do? Chun's family has worked for my family for decades. I can't let him get hurt. I was trapped. "Go. And it's almost certain death." "Don't go. And Chun is in danger." "Sir, is everything all right?" Chun asked, noticing my pale face. I looked at him and made my decision. "Chun, take a few days off. Go on vacation. Don't worry about anything at the office. I can't drag him into this mess. It looks like I have to go. So what if he's the hero? Let's see what you've got." In that moment, a flicker of defiance I didn't know I had sparked to life. "So what if this is a book? So what if I'm the villain?" "Ethan Vance. Am not a lamb for the slaughter. You want to stop me from living to the final chapter? Come and try me." Chapter 10. He drove my ridiculously flashy Lamborghini to the abandoned warehouse district alone. The place was desolate. A rusted, half-open gate groaned in the wind like the mouth of a monster. What a charming spot. Perfect for a murder. I hope the hero has some sense of honor and doesn't just have his goons jump me. I took a deep breath and walked inside. In the center of the vast, empty space, Damien Cross stood with his back to me. He turned slowly at the sound of my footsteps. The friendly mask he wore at the party was gone, replaced by pure, unadulterated menace. "You actually came," he said. "Why wouldn't I?" I shot back, forcing a confidence I didn't feel. "Stay away from Serafina," Damien said, getting straight to the point. "She's not for a useless piece of trash like you." There it is, the classic line. "Buddy, you have no idea how much I want to stay away from her." I scoffed out loud. "And why should I? She's my fiancée. Not for long." Damien's eyes narrowed. "Ethan, I'm giving you two choices. 1, take a payout and disappear from this city forever. 2, I make you and your entire family disappear from the face of the earth." Wow, the sheer arrogance. Classic billionaire in disguise stuff. He really nails the part. Too bad he's threatening the wrong guy. The original Ethan might have wet his pants. But me, I smiled. And what if I choose neither? Damien's eyes narrowed into slits. "Then you're choosing death." As the words left his mouth, dozens of thugs in black emerged from the shadows, surrounding me. Each of them was holding a steel pipe, their faces grim. A normal person would have been terrified, but I wasn't a normal person. Before I woke up in this mess, I was a retired MMA fighter. A national champion, in fact. I may have gotten a little soft, but the fundamentals were still there. More than enough to handle these clowns. Perfect. All those hours at the gym, and I haven't had a chance to test out my new strength. Today, you guys get to be my sparring partners. I cracked my knuckles, the sound echoing in the cavernous space. Damien smirked, mistaking it for fear. "It's not too late to change your mind." "It is," I said, "because now I'm giving you two choices." I pointed at him, then at his crew. 1, all of you can come at me at once. Or 2, you can get on your knees, bow your head to the floor, and call me daddy. Damien's face contorted with rage. "Get him!" With a roar, the thugs charged. Just as the first pipe was about to connect with my head, a symphony of screeching tires filled the air. Dozens of black sedans swarmed the warehouse, boxing everyone in. The doors flew open and 100 men in sharp suits and earpieces poured out. Professional security, far more intimidating than Damien's goons. They formed a perimeter surrounding the original circle of thugs. I blinked. What? What is this? I didn't call for backup. A Rolls-Royce Phantom glided to a stop at the warehouse entrance. The back door opened, and Serafina Sterling stepped out. She was back in a crisp power suit, her heels clicking on the grimy concrete. She radiated an aura of absolute authority, like a queen surveying her domain. Her eyes swept over the scene and landed on me. Seeing that I was unharmed, the tension in her shoulders seemed to relax. Then she turned her gaze to the furious Damien Cross, and her voice was so cold it could have caused frostbite. "Did you ask my permission," she said, "before you decided to touch what's mine?" Chapter 11. The warehouse was dead silent. Damien's thugs looked like scared children in the face of Serafina's professional security team. Damien himself looked like he'd swallowed a wasp. He stared at Serafina, then at me, his eyes burning with humiliation and rage. "Serafina, you're choosing this. This nobody. Over me." Serafina walked to my side. She reached out and straightened my collar. A gesture so casual and proprietary, it was like a declaration of war. Ooh, the queen protecting her man. I could get used to this script. The look on a hero's face right now is priceless. I was secretly ecstatic, but on the outside, I put on a touched expression and looked at Serafina with what I hoped passed for adoration. "He is not a nobody," Serafina said, her voice quiet but firm. "He's my man." Whoa, my brain short-circuited. "Lady, you can't just say things like that. When did I become your man? We have a purely contractual, fake fiancé relationship." Hearing my internal monologue, Serafina's lips curved into the faintest of smiles. Her words were the final nail in Damien's coffin. "Fine, fine, fine." Damien spat, his eyes practically glowing with hatred. "Serafina Sterling. Ethan Vance. You'll regret this. I, Damien Cross, will repay today's humiliation 100 times over." He shot one last venomous glare our way, then stormed off with his crew, his tail between his legs. The crisis was over. I let out a long breath, feeling like I'd just dodged another bullet. "How did you know I was here?" I asked her. "How do you think, you idiot? I came to save you." That's what she was probably thinking. What she said was, "I was in the neighborhood." Me? Right. Your neighborhood just happens to be an abandoned industrial park, and you always travel with an army. Whatever. Don't try to understand the mind of a CEO. But I have to admit, she really saved my bacon today. For the first time, I looked at her and said, with genuine sincerity, "Thank you." Serafina's body went rigid for a second. She turned her head away, avoiding my eyes, but I could see her ears turning red again. "Don't mention it." She reached into her pocket and pulled out something small, pressing it into my hand. "What's this?" I opened my palm. It was a tiny device, shaped like a button. "A GPS tracker and a panic button," she explained. "Keep it with you at all times." Me? Great. So now I'm officially on a 24/7 leash. My dreams of a quiet life are completely dead. I looked at the tracker in my hand, then at the Ice Queen with a hidden soft spot standing in front of me. I felt a confusing mix of emotions. Was it possible that being managed by her wasn't so bad? No. I, Ethan Vance, will never surrender to the forces of corporate tyranny, unless she covers room and board. Chapter 12. After the warehouse incident, my relationship with Serafina changed. She stopped being a ghost who appeared out of nowhere and started being a constant, open presence in my life. In the mornings, her driver would pick me up to take me to work. The official reason was to cultivate our relationship. Cultivate my ass. You just want to keep an eye on me so I don't run away. At noon, her assistant would deliver a gourmet lunch from a 5-star restaurant. This tomahawk steak is perfect. Medium rare, just how I like it. This mushroom bisque is incredible, though maybe a touch too much salt. In the afternoons, she would come to my office personally to supervise my work, which really meant she would pull up a chair next to mine and watch me play video games. She never said anything when I played badly. And when I did well, I think she smiled. It was just the barest upward twitch of her lips, but I saw it. The Ice Queen actually looks really pretty when she smiles. I still don't get what she sees in me. My gaming skills, my appetite, my profound laziness. It was a mystery. One afternoon, I was in my office planning the next phase of my retirement, renting a private island in the Maldives, when Serafina came in. She looked different today. There was a weariness in her eyes, a shadow of irritation. What's wrong? Who pissed off the CEO? Oh, right, I remember now. Around this time in the book, a rival company teams up with some of Sterling Group's minority shareholders to stage a coup at the next board meeting. They want to force her out. She must be under a lot of pressure. Serafina sat down beside me without a word, closing her eyes and rubbing her temples. It looked like her emotional disorder was flaring up again. Seeing her brow furrowed in pain, I did something unexpected. I put down my controller. I walked behind her chair and gently placed my hands on her temples. My grandfather taught me a few massage techniques for headaches. Want to give it a try? Actually, I just made this up. As long as it feels good, it should work. Serafina's body tensed up, but she didn't pull away. I applied gentle, steady pressure, working my thumbs in slow circles. Gradually, the tense line of her brow began to soften. The office was quiet, the only sound her soft breathing. I could smell a faint, clean scent coming from her hair. It wasn't perfume, just something light and pleasant. My heart did a weird little flip in my chest. Strange. Why is my heart beating so fast? Must be overdoing it at the gym. Serafina could hear my heart pounding like a drum, and she felt her own pulse begin to match its rhythm. The anxiety and stress that had been crushing her all day began to melt away, replaced by a sense of calm she hadn't felt in years. She realized this man offered more than just amusing internal commentary. He offered this, a gentleness that could soothe the storm inside her. After a while, I stopped. Feeling any better? She didn't answer. Instead, she turned around and wrapped her arms around my waist, burying her face in my chest. Her voice was muffled against my shirt. Ethan, don't leave. I froze, my mind going completely blank. What? What is happening? Is she hugging me? What do I do? Do I push her away? Or hug her back? My hands hovered in the air for what felt like an eternity. Finally, slowly, they came to rest on her back, gently holding her. She felt soft and cool in my arms, and holding her felt surprisingly right. End.